You're getting it next, boy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I want to be like you. Come on, man. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold the record for pay-per-view. My drop. I know my drop. I know my situation. I don't want to fight. But it's gonna be very difficult for both of us. ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Chocolate brownies. You need that fear. Yo, such a fitting intro for today's press conference. We told you guys a couple of days ago, about 72 hours ago, 48 hours ago, that Kell Brook, Errol Spence was official, that it will be getting announced in the hometown of Sheffield, the hometown of obviously Kell Brook, and that's exactly where this thing got announced. This is exactly where the drama took place. We will talk a little about it more in detail. We have both our co-hosts, the good doctor and the hipster. Let's head on out now to the Sunshine State. Boxing MD, what's going on, brother? I know you want to sit in on this. We're going to head on over to the Sunshine State. The Sunshine State. Boxing MD. Boxing MD, what's going on?
Is that a fair statement to make? You have to be honest with yourself. Well, Ness is correct. I am in the Sunshine State. For anybody who's wondering, it is 85 degrees. People are in the pool. But what's hotter and more heated is the press conference between Errol Spence and Kell Brook, right? Errol Spence has been criticized by people like myself as being having what it takes to be a superstar in the ring, but outside the ring, kind of soft, mellow spoken. But maybe this is the opportunity for him to get outside that mold and to kind of show that he means business inside and outside the ring. So I haven't seen this video yet, so it'll be interesting to hear my take as well as the co-host's take, as well as the people. So let's get to that.
Yes, let's head on over to the Golden State for the hipster who's deep in training. Check out his latest sparring footage with 323
That's some old footage.
Santiago.
That's some old footage.
Live.
That's not new.
Hey, brother.
Oh, is it leaked? Like the Mayweather footage?
Leaked it, man. I don't know who leaked it.
Yo, talk to us, Matt. And I just want to say,
Or the Broner sex tape?
I've already spoken with Dalla DiBiase, our in-house producer, and we got your intro.
What?
Cooking. No, it's not out yet.
Okay,
it's not
man,
out.
I was so excited right there.
He's going to contact you for some, he wants to obviously have your input.
Yeah.
And everyone listening on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. I'm also putting the link to the private TBV viewing room where you can watch the press conference along with us. Check my last message in the chat. You click on that link and we will all be in a private.
But do not press any buttons when you get on there. Just watch and turn all your sounds off.
Yeah,
don't press play. Don't do anything because
I don't know, Ness. I don't think we should do that.
Too late.
No.
Too late.
No, my God. How hard? It's hard enough to when there's 5 people on the panel.
I know. I mean, hey, maybe they're good over there. Who knows? All right. So that being said, what we are here for, there was an announcement for a great fight, a matchup that we've all been waiting about. Anytime we get the
camera.
All right. So there goes someone who joined the room and someone else.
All right, for production value, we need to take that out, Ness. I'm sorry because people are going to be continuously getting on it, and we have to each 10 seconds say it.
I muted it. Don't worry about it. All right. So where was I? The announcement took place today, and I want to say, MD, I know you haven't watched the footage, but at least from the face-off picture, you can tell that Errol Spence's shoulders are at least 4 to 3 inches above Kell Brook's shoulders. He's obviously taller in height, longer in reach. He came out verbally and said, Because Kell Brook was basically like, hey, you know, I'm a big guy. Look, I was fighting Gennady and I'm coming back down. So when I blow up the next day, I'm usually massive. He was like, hey, well, I walk around high 70s myself. That was a bit shocking to me. 170 pounds. That's a light heavyweight sinking down to 147. That's not only dangerous for him, but for his opponent. And what's even sexier is you wanted Errol Spence to be a little more vocal. Well, when he was in the face-off, bro, he's like, you're not the big guy anymore. You're fighting a bigger man now. You know, you're not fighting a small Sean Porter. And so Kell Brook, you know, he didn't stay behind. And he's like, yeah, whatever. You fought Bundu. He was like, and I stopped him. He went 12 with, but I never seen Earl like that. I loved it. I mean, you really have to see it. Whatever. Matt, I'm sure you watched it. You're the hipster. You probably got an alert on the hip like, hey, Kell Brook, Errol Spence is going down. How'd you receive it? What was it like for you?
Well, I saw it from the Twitter feed. He had it from a different angle, and it made it look like Errol Spence was just massive. Like when the camera angle we're looking at right now, it's much more even. But from the angle I saw it at, it looked like Errol Spence was just 2 or 3 inches taller, way more massive, bigger frame. You know, obviously they're more similar, I would say, in size once you see it from this angle. But Errol Spence is the bigger guy. And for a guy that we were all thinking had trouble making weight in Kell Brook, who is a natural 154-pounder, you know, what do we think about Errol Spence now that we see him side by side? You know, Errol Spence has the reach, he has the size, has the power. He's going to give Kell Brook a really tough fight, and I'm leaning Errol Spence. I'll be honest. You know, I'm going back and forth in this fight, still am, on who to pick, but man, Errol Spence just looks like he has the frame and the size and the style to really give Kell Brook an issue.
So do you remember when Victor Postal stood next to Terrence Crawford? You would think that Victor Postal looked like the bigger guy because his frame. I think that he looks maybe wider, but he's also very skinny. He has a very lean body. So I don't necessarily think that he's going to have a huge size advantage over Kell Brook. I know that he's a large welterweight before people accuse either guy. Now, finally, right? They're both doing VADA, right?
Yes.
Am I correct with that?
They're both doing VADA and UK anti-doping.
So they will be making the weight legally. And it's a big weight cut for both of these guys. But we'll get into the video. But when Errol Spence is saying, you're finally fighting the bigger guy. I mean, he did fight Golovkin, even though he did get knocked out in like 2 rounds.
You hear that part because you didn't watch it. Let me tell you what Derek James said. Derek James said, I said this before we fought Algieri, and I'll say it again. Earl was the best fighter Algieri ever fought, even though Algieri fought Pacquiao. And Earl is the best fighter Kell Brook has ever fought, even though he just fought Gennady Golovkin. That is the words of Derek James. And he said, the way that we proved it with the Algieri and the Bundu fight, we're going to prove it with Kell Brook. So
that's a confident trainer who should be backing his fighter. But again, my biggest question is Errol Spence passes the eye test in a lot of ways. But if you go through his record, he's never faced a guy who even has like medium power. He's faced a bunch of feather-fisted punchers, good boxers, right? Leonard Bundu is a decent European boxer. No disrespect to him. He earned himself to at least get a few shots at some of these guys.
Wasn't Bundu from Africa?
No, but I think he's maybe African, but I think he's Italian.
Oh,
honestly.
Okay.
And Chris Algieri, who obviously has some footwork, but he has very limited power. So I don't know. And I think that the biggest question for me is that Errol Spence is not really proven. I mean, people talk about Kell Brook not being proven, right? Because Kell Brook's only fought Sean Porter. I mean, Sean Porter is leaps and bounds above anybody that Errol Spence has ever faced.
Yeah, but I just counter you with what you and guys like Matt always tell me. It's the eye test. It's not resume. It's not who he's faced. It's how he's destroyed Chris Algieri and Leonard Bundu when Bundu was in there with Thurman, who went 12, and Thurman was careful. We spoke to Thurman in depth about that fight. He was careful, and Earl blew him out the water. But it's the confidence of this kid. Let's get to the tape. Remember, we dropped the link in the chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. This is an early spontaneous show. We're coming to you from the rumor mill, giving you our thoughts on this amazing fight taking place May 27th in Sheffield. Let's get to the tape, guys. Well, damn, I messed that up. Here we go. Look at the confidence in Errol, brother. Just pay attention to this. For those obviously that are not watching, the two men have are shoulder to shoulder, not exactly face off. It's not exactly a face off at the moment, but they're shoulder to shoulder. And you can see the size difference. Listen, remember, Kell Brook is supposed to be coming down in weight, right? MD, like he was big for the middleweight fight, so he's already starting to lose his weight to get to 147. Yet he still doesn't look as big as Errol Spence. Thanks to Hands of Stone, started the tape back.
Strike to the front again, please, Kell. Errol, strike to the front, please.
I mean, come on, talk to me, MD. What are you going to say about this size? Does size not matter in this fight?
No, I mean, listen, like I said, I think he has a wide frame. He's tall and lanky, which is good for some boxers. Listen, I don't purely look at size to see.
That's the face-off. Now look at this. Check this out. Listen.
Man down.
Man down in Sheffield. Man down in Sheffield. I'm repeating it all. We gonna see. I don't care about all that. Look at Kell Brook. Don't worry about all that. I'm gonna make the weight. Points at his belt. I love it.
Just like brownie man.
Huh? He said chocolate brownie man.
Just make weight. So you gotta do is make weight.
Yo, you can hear the team.
Just make weight.
Yes, I was gonna go to that. You can hear the team saying, "Just make weight. Just make weight." Man down. I don't see nothing. Come on, MD. Talk to me about that. Look how he's walking up close.
I'm trying to like mute this because my background noise, but it's difficult. I don't want this. I mean, listen, I like this. I like to see Errol Spence. Kell Brook always Kell Brook has like a goofy shit talking personality already. And I like Errol Spence has been reserved, but he's all business. So
he said it. You find somebody your size now. You hear him?
I mean, that's ridiculous. He fought Golovkin. It makes no sense.
Listen. He even mentioned Sean Porter. He mentioned Kevin Bizier now.
It don't matter. He went 12 with Keith Thurman, didn't he? Oh, wow. Keith Thurman's up me. That's where Keith Thurman up, didn't he? I got him out of there easy. Chris Algieri got him out of there easy. We're going to see. So stand in the middle of the ring then. Don't run. Don't run. Stand in the middle of the ring. I'm going to hold you to it, too. Stand in the middle of the ring.
Yes! We got a fucking fight!
Come on, man. It's good. Listen, I'm excited, right? Because
Kell Brook looks thick around the waist, huh?
Yo,
he
telling
looks like that.
Don't run.
But let's also, if you're obsessed with their bodies, let's also remember, if you guys have ever worn a suit that looks like that, it makes you. He definitely has shoulder pads in that suit, right? And his suit definitely tucks in the waist. And
do you really think he has pads in his suit?
Looking at this picture right here, how the hell are you gonna say that man has shoulder pads? You sound crazy.
I mean, it's small things to like keep the suit. I don't know.
It's a fitted.
But like, come on. Yes, if you ever wear a suit, it like leans you up. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, I mean, if you guys are obsessing about little things about their body, I'm just throwing that out there. That's all I gotta say.
Look at this guy, host on Spence Nuts. When you're obviously defending Kell Brook, these guys are like deaf, blind.
I'm not defending Kell Brook, but Ness, let's keep it real. Yeah. Danny Garcia looks confident. Danny Jacobs looks confident. I mean, come on, man. Like,
you dare bring that one up knowing it's controversial
to you. But anyway,
that's like
there's people who think Danny Garcia beat Keith.
But that would be the same.
There's people who Danny Garcia. There's people who think the Earth's flat.
Okay. What about this?
Come on, man. Like, really?
Okay, what about this? I would kill him. L.
Okay, Matt, can we at least 1 second? Can we at least focus on the Danny Garcia fight?
You compare.
Do you really give legitimacy to Danny Garcia winning that fight for the record?
Hold on. You compared people who think that those guys won as flat Earth truthers. which is
if you think Danny Garcia beat Keith Thurman, I put you. If you think
gross exaggeration,
1 second. If you think Danny Garcia beat Keith Thurman, I compare you to a flat Earth.
then you compare one of our co-hosts to that. Then okay, cool.
Who thought Danny Garcia won?
Enrique.
Oh, as far as Enrique's boxing knowledge, I love Enrique. He also picked Andre Berto to beat Floyd Mayweather. I mean, so I make that statement. Enrique is very smart, but he's casual. It's okay to say that. He admits he's casual.
Post the fight.
All right, bringing it back to the chocolate brownie, man. I watched an interview. Shout out to I Film London, always on the scene in the UK, getting the best. They spoke to Earl, and Earl didn't know what chocolate brownie was, and I don't know what chocolate brownies are, but they know. And they laughed about it and stuff like that.
That's his nickname.
No, it's obviously something else. It's like a code word or some shit.
No, it's like one of his nicknames, to be honest. Like, I think, like it's almost like you get a taste of that. Like when when Kell Brook.
Well, he said in the press conference, he's
you get
like,
a taste of his chocolate brownie, right? So it's like
chocolate brownies.
Yeah, so it's like this is the chocolate brownie, and you're gonna get a taste of that. I think that's kind of what he means, Ness.
I guess. I mean, in the interview it was funny.
But doesn't it make sense? Kell Brook is black. His hand is a fist, and if you hit them in the face, it's a taste of a chocolate brownie. It's really
makes sense. Listen, makes sense. But Earl, you're right. This is why you're right. Confidence doesn't mean you're gonna win, but it definitely excites the fight fans more.
Yes.
All right. So
I love the fact that Errol Spence is talking shit. That's what I get from it. I like it. I love it. But I don't read too much into their body language saying, damn, he's ready. He's ready. I mean, they were ready when they signed the contract. I mean, that's how this is, right? These guys at this level are ready to, nobody's afraid at this level. I think that know what they're facing. And I think that it will help to sell the fight because Errol Spence is willing to step into the verbal sparring session. And he held himself pretty well. So I will give Errol Spence a lot of credit for that because soft-spoken, all business, and he's willing to,
MD,
have that heated.
Matt, since MD just was on, what is your guesstimation of how many tickets they want to sell for this fight?
Well, I assume they want to sell out the place. I know it seats around.
Number.
I think what they want or what it will do.
No, what they want.
30 to 35,000.
No, they want $1 million.
MD,
they want $1 million.
No. It's tickets. He said 30, 35. You?
I mean, they want to sell out. I don't know how the big the venue is.
All right. So what do you think the sellout is? That's what we're guessing.
Did the Golovkin sell out? Right?
No, it didn't. But you mean over there? I don't know. I don't remember. But I'm saying how many tickets you think they want to sell?
They want to sell out. I think it will sell out. I think Eddie Hearn will.
The number. Give me a number.
Whatever the capacity is. I don't 30-something thousand, 40,000. I'll look that up really quickly.
40. Okay. They're looking for 25, 30. They said in the press conference, 25, 30,000.
Well, maybe they're doing opposite of Tom Loeffler and they're lowballing so they always look good, right? Instead of highballing and then looking bad. So I don't see how
this is going to be the first time I believe there's boxing in this particular stadium. From what I understand from watching the press conference, I don't know who else watched it. Anybody in the chat?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot the fact that it is in Sheffield, which is not as big of a city, obviously, as London. So yeah, I mean, I didn't factor that in there. So I hear that. You know what I mean?
Yes. He's gone.
Yeah, Nestor's having some mic issues. He must not be on Ethernet.
No. I'm here. The sad part is that if you guys don't hear me, you let dead air go. I had to walk away and go get my phone, obviously.
That's not a sad thing. It wasn't always the main conversation. But so like I said, it's in Sheffield, which is not London. So I think that it will be much harder to get many people there. But yeah, 25, 30,000 is what they're looking for. And I think that, I mean, as much as people don't like some of the things Eddie Hearn's doing, he's able to fulfill a lot of the bold predictions he's made about ticket sales. So I think that I expected to do that same. And Eddie Hearn also, he does things like he puts guys with names on the undercard as showcase fights. So he'll have like 4 or 5 guys who are popular in certain areas in the UK, and he'll get them exposure.
Like Dylan White may land on the bot, or Derek
Taylor.
You know, somebody exactly. Teddy Taylor.
Katie Taylor's gonna be on the Linares Crolla card, but knowing how often she fights, I wouldn't be surprised that she just jumps back on to this fight as well.
Yeah, she's fighting. You know, it's that early in your career, like any pro, you could fight. You know,
a bunch of times a year.
Yeah, 70 times a year, because you're not really. They're all like tune-ups because you should be running through them, right?
Yeah. Listen, we've gave about all the facts and opinions that we need to give on this, and we're going to open up these phone lines and get through it. Should be a quick show. Just really want your reaction on the press conference. I mean, it's official, it's announced, but the attitudes of the men, the face-off, the words that were exchanged, your thoughts.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
I mean, talk to me.
Yo, I was looking at the footage and I seen him standing there, man. I think I mean the difference in size, I think, just makes it intriguing. We still can't tell much, and I think also in light of what we saw, I think we talked a little bit yesterday about star power. We asked about Triple G and his star power. I think Kell Brook has built-in star power because it's the UK, but we've all said time and time again, this is a great opportunity for Errol Spence to finally reach that status. Popular, sure, he's pretty popular among fight fans, but I think this is a star-making opportunity. So, I mean, I'm just kind of, you know, anxious to see the fight and watch the build up to it. That's my call, fellas.
MD, but how popular can Errol Spence get even if he beats Kell Brook in the UK? I mean, Gennady Golovkin just did that, and it didn't really, I mean, based on early numbers, which are speculative until proven, it didn't seem like it gave him an extra edge in his next pay-per-view, coming off of the Kell Brook pay-per-view, which did do what, 400,000?
But that's
yeah, I don't.
Triple G was having a welterweight move up 2 divisions. It was seen as a cherry pick by Gennady Golovkin, while this is Errol Spence going and fighting a legit champion at 147.
That one went over your head, Matt. Listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I hear what Ness said. No, I get it. What I'm saying is that you're right, Ness, that he.
Oh no, Matt. Excuse me. You are right.
No, the context of the fight makes a difference on how you become a star from.
Yes. No, you're right. You're right. Triple G fighting a welterweight. You're absolutely.
So you're saying that's going to make him a star over here if he beats Kell Brook?
I don't know that it will end up that way. I don't think that it will end up that way. Based off what it didn't do for Triple G, but I can hear Matt's argument that it didn't work for Triple G because Triple G was fighting a welterweight. Earl being a welterweight and Kell Brook being a welterweight. If Earl gets the win, he feels like some of that, you know, stardust will fall on Earl.
Exactly, and also, you know, I hear what you're saying, and Matt does make a point that it is more of a legitimate fight. Obviously, 2 welterweights are facing each other, but it helps him a little bit. But Errol Spence does have that Olympic story, right? He's an Olympic. He's an American. So I think that his road to stardom, if he knocks out people the way Golovkin does, and especially the fact that he's in the welterweight division now, I think that he does have an opportunity to be a superstar. If he continues, if he does win and if he wins impressively, and he continues to be all business in and outside the ring with his style, with the American backing, and with you know, the options of his opponents, like this is the beginning of it. But I don't think this will necessarily make him a superstar. But it is, I guess, a step on the right direction, I would say.
I think it's a big step in the right direction, but definitely doesn't make him a superstar in the U.S.
All right. Man, he hasn't called in so long. I wouldn't even know where we've left that intro. Fahim, what's going on?
Nah, I'm chilling. What's good, man? Let's go, TBV fam. How y'all doing?
We're good, brother. Just discussing this press conference. Fight is officially official.
Finally, you know what I mean? I've been waiting for this for a minute. You know, and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Until I seen them both face to face, side by side like that, I was a little worried that Kell Brook might be a little bit too much too soon for Errol Spence. You know what I mean? But after seeing that big size difference, and then just to look in his eyes, you know what I mean, talking that shit, man down in Sheffield, bro.
Oh, all right. Drop the phone. Oh, what the? Don't tell me they got him for his phone.
Nah.
Your chair.
What's up, man? I thought somebody ran off with the phone. Oh man.
My little son trying to run off with it. Nah, but I really think that it's going to be a good fight, and I think that it's going to be a man down in Sheffield for real. I mean, I didn't know Errol Spence was that big. You know, I knew he was big, but I didn't know he was that big. And Kell Brook's pretty big. You know what I mean? I know size don't matter that much, but size does matter. You know, I think he's going a man down. And as far as the stardom's concerned, I think, you know, British boxing fans, they're different from American fans. Whereas though, you know, if he comes over there and does the same thing that he's been doing to everybody else, you know, they're going to love him over there. And then if he opens up his mouth right after, calls out the Aki, calls out Amir Khan, I got a belt, come get it, was good in London. You know, that'll just propel him even more. But, you know, he's not going to blow up in America because everybody, if he does what I think he's going to do, nobody's going to fight him. He's going to be chasing your boy, what's his name? The boy who just fought.
Who? Keith Thurman?
Thurman, yeah, Thurman. Probably.
Yeah, but like, I think it's a little. I think it's a little. It's a little quick to assume that Keith Thurman. Why wouldn't Keith Thurman fight Errol Spence? Like why wouldn't he?
Bro, I haven't been in it like y'all been in it, but just for the couple years I've been in it, watching how this game go, he's not going to fight that boy, man. You know what I mean? Until it's a lot of money on the table.
I just don't think Keith Thurman takes soft touches like some other welterweights, right? He really doesn't. It's hard to look at his record and say the way he progressed, right? It didn't, like, the names aren't as sexy, but he's never taken really easy fights, right? Even Luis Collazo, who people were like laughing at and hurt him to the body or whatever. I mean, Luis Collazo. Exactly. I mean, these are good fighters, and Keith Thurman's never taken a Samuel Vargas or a Rod Salka.
I'll call off with this. I bet you this though. I'll leave my call off with this. I bet you if Errol Spence dispatches Kell Brook in the same fashion he's been doing everybody else, watch how many soft touches Keith Thurman take after that. And that's my call. Peace out.
That's a fair statement to make, but again, like I said before, Keith Thurman fought Luis Collazo,
Diego Chavez.
No. I'm talking about in row. What the fuck is Sean Porter, then Danny Garcia, right? So you should fight Errol Spence next. Like again, at this level, I'm okay with a 1-1.
I think that he would, and you know, I'm a victim of believing fighters and what they tell me. But you were in the gym. He's willing. He didn't talk about fighting Errol Spence. He talked about not caring about the amount of money that he is going to lose just to be undisputed unified champion. He went down in detail as to why most fighters do not and how badly he does want to do it. We spoke about Zab Judah being one of the few to be undisputed, and this is what he wants to do. So Errol Spence having a belt, that's only putting a bullseye on his back for Keith Thurman. I believe every word Keith Thurman tells me.
Yeah, no, listen, I don't think Keith Thurman does not want to fight Errol Spence. I really believe that Keith Thurman, and this also helped him build him a star, like he should get that Tampa fight, that St. Pete fight. And
you know what I heard? A rumor. I hope it's a lie. I mean, not a lie. I hope it's true, to be honest with you. I'm dying to go back to Florida, even though your fight is happening in Florida. We'll be there in June from the 5th to the 8th. We'll tell you all about it a little later. I heard Brandon Rios. I don't know how. I don't know how true that is.
Brandon Rios.
I heard
that's a soft touch. Listen,
rumor. It's a rumor, right? Like Brandon Rios in Florida.
If that's a soft touch, I don't know how people could hit on that. I really don't. Like he's fought in 2 tough opponents in a row, and then he gets a soft touch. And this soft touch is like an older, past his prime fighter. But like again, if you do, my standard is 1-1. And if
I don't like that.
Yeah, and if you stand with the 1-1. And Brandon Rios will be there to get him a knockout. I'm okay with this, man. If you're hating on this, then I really just don't.
It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not good. It's not good or great. It's not. It's not an intriguing fight to me. on a fan's perspective. You know, I'd rather see.
Rios has been out of the ring for like 2 years working on technique with Tengusin over there.
And he got beat up to the body and got finished by Tim Bradley. I mean, come on, like that's just.
He'll get one time, right? And people will get hyphy in St. Pete. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, let's get to some callers and we'll see what their thoughts are. We're gonna go out to Ali in Dago. Talk to us.
What's good with y'all, man? Hey, man, you got to start playing my Ali Boombaye.
Oh, shit. You know what? Where is that? I found it the other day. You know what? I got to transfer it to the right side where all the intros are. It's around here somewhere. It's perfect.
Yeah, even my nigga Info Joe want to hear it. but yeah, man. Yeah, but the MD was right. The chocolate brownie, that means like punches to the face, because Brooke pretty much told Errol Spence, because Errol Spence was like, "What's a chocolate brownie?" And then he let him know, like, I'm
yo, that was your country accent.
Yeah, I was trying to copy Errol Spence, but yeah, man, I can't wait for this fight, man. And I like when Earl was like, I ain't no Sean Porter. But it kind of looked like Brooke was a little nervous. Sometimes you can't tell too much from that, like what's going to happen in the fight. But, like, he was trying to talk, but you could kind of tell he was like, damn, like, this motherfucker's pretty big. You know what I'm saying? But
that's what you want to believe.
Fight, man. Or, I know, but that's why I say you can't really tell too much. But I'm just saying, just, like, by looking at the body language, it looked like he was more talking shit when he was really like, just trying to hide a little, like, damn, this dude, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man, but I think he's going to turn into the chocolate brownie. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get burnt up. But that's my call, y'all. Earl, the truth spits.
All right, Ali, but you are American. That's what the UK listeners are saying.
You better not duck me, son. You better not duck me, son.
I'll sign up. Keith Thurman, Rios, Orlando, Summer. Give me some of that beach water. Let's get out to the UK. We got Idris. Talk to us.
Yeah, man. What's happening? That was a big press conference, isn't it? Yeah, man. The first thing I took from that press conference was Errol Spence. I like that. We're seeing a bit more of his personality, isn't it? So I think he's talking a good game right now, which is good for everyone, but we never got to see that kind of side of him, man. So it'd be a nice little build-up from that side. I was impressed with that side, man. He held his own when he was like face-to-face in front of all the UK. The reporters were being obviously a bit biased towards Kell Brook and that, but he held himself when he was talking and that. But yeah.
Can you educate the UK fans a little bit on, obviously Sheffield's a little north central of London, obviously, and it's a much smaller city. Yeah. I guess, can you give your opinion about, I guess, the size and the demand of the tickets, and was Eddie Hearn making sense when he said those numbers?
I believe Sheffield Council.
The stadium only holds 30 is the max, no matter what.
But I know you're not more of an expert on the UK than this caller, so ask.
First of all, the match room, there's a fight pass. So you pay 30 quid, £30, and you get an annual fight pass, which gives you like first person to get the tickets. You get it like a week early. After that, it goes to general public. But by the time the people on Fight Pass have it, they should have already sold about 7,000-8,000. That's just for the Fight Pass people. And then it's always like a race to get the tickets. These tickets sell out quickly, man.
Yeah, but you said the Fight Pass people, but like traveling to Sheffield, right? That's like a drive from a lot of the bigger cities. It's not coastal, right?
From London, I'm from London. That's about a 3-hour drive maximum. So yeah, it's kind of central. You're right. So anyone from the north can come down, and everyone from the south can go up. So it's pretty good centrally. But yeah, the whole country is a bit like happy about this fight right now, man. But the tickets is the only thing. I think the stadium, it would have been nice if it was a bigger stadium, because I think everyone's trying to get tickets to this fight. And then yeah, man, that's a big fight, man. I still got Kell Brook winning it, man. But I'm just impressed about Errol Spence. I didn't know he had like that side to him with his talking game and stuff, and he's making it seem like he's a very, very top fight. One more thing I'd like to say is this is a bigger fight than whoever the winner versus Thurman. I think this is bigger. Number one. Number two, I don't think there's many fights out there.
Yeah, I mean, to all the Americans listening, you are from the UK. You would say that.
And very quick, I want to get your pay-per-view prediction on the fight as well.
If Kell Brook wins and he beats Thurman, I don't think that fight with Thurman would be bigger than the one he had previously with Spence. I'm just talking like, just in case if that happens, you know what I mean? So I think Spence is the best fight Brook can get, and I think Brook is the best fight Spence can get.
Well, you're saying that if Kell Brook,
that doesn't make any sense.
That makes no sense. You're saying if Kell Brook beats Errol Spence, who is not a champion yet, and a lot of people could, if you want to be negative about it and say he hasn't been proven, if like let's say Kell Brook hypothetically beats him, exactly. Keith Thurman's proven and has 2 belts. There's no way that fight's not going to be bigger. Come on, man.
But he's saying that Errol Spence is a better fighter than Danny Garcia from the eye test standpoint. And I can see where he's coming from. There's an argument there.
No, I agree with that one.
I agree with it, but I can see the argument.
No, I actually agree with it, and it is a bigger fight financially over there because they're going to sell more tickets and. I guess it's hard to compare a pay-per-view there over here, but you could argue for sure that it's a bigger fight than from a financial standpoint.
Do you think it's going to outdo in pay-per-views David Haye versus Tony Bellew?
No.
No? Okay. Ness, what do you think?
I don't think that statement has any credibility to it because Thurman has fought in front of millions. Every time he inaugurated one of these networks in America, millions.
They fight in front of millions over there, Ness. Are you crazy?
Where?
In the UK.
They don't get no freaking 3 million, 4 or 5 million.
Okay, and that's
pay-per-view.
Yes, they do. 400,000 pay-per-view buys, for example. Let's just say you multiply that.
Math, bro. We're talking about the actual numbers that we get.
Ness. Stop it. You're really not being logical. A pay-per-view buy is when you hit the button. How many times have you sat there by yourself and watched the fight when you bought a pay-per-view fight?
It's different for them when the pay-per-view is like $20.
Yeah, so you're going to say that everybody in the UK is sitting at home alone buying a pay-per-view? They can take it just like over here, Ness.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you still cannot compare that to the 5 million people that saw Thurman Garcia or the 4.6 that saw him before or the other. What I'm saying is compared to what the caller's saying, Errol Spence, who is unknown, because you want to argue numbers, let's just argue popularity, which is what I'm trying to establish, that Thurman has been seen by millions and millions of people. So to even try to compare Errol Spence's popularity to Thurman's is ridiculous.
Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that.
Thurman, he was comparing Brooks to Thurman.
No,
if Brook beat Spence, that Brook would be the number 1 welterweight in the world. Not that if Spence beat him.
No, he also said that if Brook beats Spence, the Thurman fight isn't bigger than the Errol Spence fight. That's the main reason.
Thurman-Danny fight. That's what he's saying.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to bring him back on. You guys that did not listen. Idris, what did you say?
No, you're right about that. It's a bigger
you.
fight in that aspect. But I say personally, to me, as in fighters, I just think both of them beat Thurman. So it will be, obviously, it'll be a lot bigger pay-per-view buys, everything. It was Thurman versus Brook after that fight.
And let me ask you a question: Have you bought pay-per-view? 1 second, Ness. Have you bought pay-per-view an Eddie Hearn pay-per-view, a Matchroom pay-per-view over there?
Yeah, I did the Hay one and I did the Golovkin.
How many people in your house for the Hay one?
About 4 people.
There you go.
Cheap as well. It's £20, which is about what, $25.
Yeah, it's about $20 over here.
All right, there you go, Ness.
4 people. You know.
All right.
And our fight parties, even though
I want to ask Idris a question really fast. Do you think Kell Brook, Errol Spence outsells in pay-per-view David Haye versus Tony Bellew?
I'm not sure. I don't think it does. Shall I tell you why? The Bellew versus Haye fight, that was a domestic. That was like a North versus South thing. That's equivalent to our East Coast versus West Coast. You see, during the afternoon, about 3 p.m., we had Liverpool versus Arsenal. Big football game. The whole country is watching. Liverpool beat us. At the night, it was Liverpool versus London again. You know what I mean?
Idris, I want to... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. It was, the whole day was planned. As in, during the day, everyone watched the soccer. Liverpool beat Arsenal, London team. They smashed them. The whole country watched that. And at night, they did it again. Liverpool beat London. So it was just like a whole... I think if America did something like that and they just hyped up a big East Coast versus West Coast thing, people will buy into them kind of things. That's the kind of things the British people kind of buy into.
Yeah, also David Hayes popular over there. He's a personality. He's on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, so David Hayes is like a crossover star. I mean, Kell Brook's
bigger than Kell Brook.
Well, yeah, definitely physically.
MD, back to your math, and let's move on to some other callers. Idris, thanks a lot. 400. I know you had your head down because you was doing the math. You want to say it yourself, or you want me to say it?
No, it's actually multitasking, but obviously the math would be 1.6 million people based on his logic alone. But again, when you use pay-per-view sales,
could be wrong.
But based on his numbers right there, the point I'm trying to make is you
asked them for a reason. You asked them because you wanted to get an average. Now we have it, so we multiply.
Yes. I hate getting into these arguments because it's like we're talking about two different things. If a fight's on CBS, a fight's on whatever, it's on bars. Bars don't have to buy it. It's free on TV. You don't know how they factor the numbers in. So the fact that they're doing 400,000 pay-per-view buys, that it's cheaper over there, doesn't necessarily equate to less views and less popularity purely over there. That's all I'm saying. And they'd sell more tickets than over here, Ness. Way more tickets.
Matt,
was the Danny Garcia Keith Thurman a sellout?
It broke a record. 16,000.
Oh, 16,000. They're talking about doing 25 to 30,000. Ness, come on, man.
What's your point? Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman did what other fighters
in
America don't do.
But you're saying, but you scoffed at the fact that this is not a bigger fight. It could be, and I'm saying from a business.
Wait. This is what I'm saying about you. You change your mind. When did I scoff that this is not? I'm the one excited how big this fight. What are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying it's great. I'm glad Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman did what it did. But what I'm saying is that
I'm the one that had you and Matt guess how many numbers it would do, knowing that it was more than Danny. Man, you guys.
Right, let's move on.
Like I'm, whatever. Anyway, Matt, what is your opinion on this?
I think that this pay-per-view does. David Hay barely did like 800,000, right? And I think that this does.
Oh, it did it. It did do 800,000.
Wow.
Yeah, it did 800,000.
Oh, okay. I don't think it'll do that.
I think it'll do just below that. I think this fight's still big, but like Idris said, David Hay, Tony Bellew, that was a Liverpool versus London thing. That's rooted in that culture there. Plus, it was an all UK fight. It was a heavyweight fight. That always brings in the casuals a little bit more. David Hay is a much bigger star than Kell Brook, in my opinion. I could be wrong about that, but I think this does over 600,000 easily. I think this does maybe north of 700,000 pay-per-view buys in the UK. I think it's a big fight.
Yeah, and I don't know why people are saying that UK is a smaller market. I mean, I think UK fighters are getting paid more sometimes, honestly, and they're getting paid more because even though there's less people that live there, I mean, there's a much larger market share. So just because they only have 56 million people and we have 300 million people, I'm just, come on, there's money's over there, man. But I'm not saying to you guys, but I'm the listeners.
And very fast, just to put this in perspective, when Floyd Mayweather fought Ricky Hatton, and that was shown on pay-per-view in the UK, that did 1.2 million pay-per-view buys. So it's just it's a smaller market. So like 800,000 is a lot. It's much different than the US.
All right, let's get to some callers. Boxing knowledges. What's going on from Kansas City with the elevator Desperado?
Got a ringer on, by the way.
Desperado right there. Gonna get us flag. Boxing knowledges. What's up? Marcus in DC.
Hold on. We got a ringer. We got to go to our Patreon. Sorry, Marcus. Stainless.
Yeah, you didn't.
What?
Yeah. To Marcus in DC, man. Marcus in DC, brother, I love you, man. But you got to get that ringer status, baby. What's up, man? Okay. I missed y'all. It's good. I can't believe, so soon after one big fight, y'all already back on the air and talking about this new stuff. I got fortunate in seeing the bat signal and when I watched that press conference, man. Them boys ain't playing, man. It's nice to see some drama. You know what I'm saying? And Errol Spence is usually a very quiet and reserved guy, so to see him kind of with that fuck you attitude towards Kell Brook, man, that's nice to see.
I'm saying I ain't just some Twitter stuff. Really, that's all I got. Other than I really don't like to bring up old shit, man. But MD, it's good to hear you on here, man. You know what I'm saying? I've seen some panelists, heart broke when anybody talked about their favorite boxer or them in general. And to see you stand up, man, and still be there, man. That's, you know what I'm saying? I don't know you personally. I do hope to see you at a TBV appreciation party eventually. But you won some of my respect, man. That's a big deal for me. That being said, as I say with every show, man, please make sure that you like this and every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. And if you're tired of me getting on in front of you in line, you tired of cats coming back on, when you thought they was done, then get your ass on Patreon, man, and upgrade that status, man. All right, man. Peace.
Stainless, thank you as always. Let's get out to Boxing Knowledgeist, see if he's turned off the Desperado music.
That's not.
Marcus in DC.
He must be on hold with somebody else. That's my guess, and that's the background.
Yo, what's good, man? If I have to defer to anybody, my man Stainless is no problem at all, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, check this out, man. Yo, what dude was trying to say is obviously that they don't have high regard for Keith Thurman over there. When he said that the fight will be bigger with Errol Spence, because obviously I think they think Keith Thurman is vulnerable over there. As far as arguing the fight numbers, we can't look at free TV numbers compared to pay-per-view numbers. So that's like you telling us, Ness, that you think Thurman and Garcia, if it was a pay-per-view, going to do 250,000 buys. We know that's not going to happen. So the only reason why we got 5 million viewers because it's free. Everybody loves free 99. But in all honesty, if you look at the trend of what pay-per-view has been doing here in the U.S., you know Garcia and Thurman only does 150. Y'all say earlier about the Golovkin situation in that situation. It's just the same reason why the Spider-Man franchise in the movie does better than Superman. You know Superman can't be beat. You don't even go tune in. But Spider-Man got Doc Ock, all these other dudes, so the intrigue of the villain makes you go and pay more. No matter how they lead up to it, when Golovkin fought Brook, everybody knew Golovkin was going to beat the shit out of him. Everybody knew Golovkin was going to beat Brook, so there's no excitement, right? There was no excitement when Mayweather fought Berto. 400,000 proved it. So when Mayweather fought Cotto, he did 1.5 because you had people who felt like he might lose. When Mayweather fought Canelo, he did 2.4 because they thought there's a possibility of him losing. So with Brook and Spence, it's a 50-50 fight in a lot of people's eyes. So it will sell. It'll probably do at least 500,000 to 550,000 buys over there because it's a big fight in their mind. And as far as over here, it's like same thing. Phil Triple G is no matter how anybody plays the narrative, everybody went into the fight thinking he was going to knock Danny Jacobs out. No matter even if Abel or anybody tried to say, oh no, he was just young when he got hit. Everybody was under the impression the man was going to get knocked out. And you can't sell a fight when you believe you know the outcome before it happens. So I don't think people feel like they know the outcome of Brook and Spence, so it's going to sell big. 550, 500,000 all day. That's my call.
Marcus, good call as always. Let's get out to the Skype machine. I believe we have Nathan Brown. First time calling in?
Yeah, first time calling.
Are you calling in from the UK, my friend?
Yeah, from the UK, mate.
All right, all right. How long have you been listening?
About 2 years now.
Wow, great, great. So you obviously know the first time caller intro. We're going to get and play that, and you get into your call.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Nathan from the UK. It's good to finally get on the show. I've been listening for a long time now, but obviously you guys normally have your show quite late, so I didn't normally get a chance to call in. So yeah, it's nice to have for you guys to have an early show for us UK guys.
So I'm going to ask you a few questions. Me and MD been having a few debates here. What do you reckon about Thurman as a big fight for the winner of this Kell Brook Errol Spence? You know, we were talking pay-per-view numbers, visibility. How big of a fight would you feel that the winner of this, you know, Brook Spence will do versus Thurman?
Well, I completely disagree with the last guy who said this fight would be bigger than the Furman fight. I mean, if let's just say Brook beats Spence and he has to fight Furman in a unification fight, that fight would be huge. For me, that'd probably be one of the biggest fights in boxing that could be made out there today. So for me, that would be by far the biggest fight.
Wait, do you know what? You know why the caller says that Errol Spence is a bigger fight than Keith Thurman? Is because Errol Spence has been talked about with Kell Brook, not Keith Thurman. That's the only reason why. Period.
Yeah. No, but unification fights, come on, they're always bigger than an undefeated prospect making his way up. But to be fair, this is still a very big fight. I mean, Spence, he's an American fighting the UK, and over here we love it when the UK fight the US. It's a great rivalry, so I could see this doing, I reckon, 600,000 pay-per-view buys. Easy, 600,000. And in terms, you were talking about the capacity of Bramall Lane in Sheffield. It's 30,000. I could see them probably selling 30,000 tickets for this fight, just because, as I said before, UK against the US, it's always a big rivalry. And yeah, I think that'll do well, ticket sales.
And do you guys have fight parties over there as well, like we have over here, even though it's a little cheaper?
What do you mean in terms of having friends around to watch the pay-per-view?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, me, every time I have a pay-per-view, I normally have like 7 or 8 boys come around and we'll watch it together. And obviously, our points are so much cheaper than you. We only have to chip in like £4 or £5 each, and then we've got a pay-per-view for the night. So, you can't really complain, to be fair.
Yeah, it's the same thing we do over here. It's just the fact that they don't financially rape us. Like,
exactly.
Your pay-per-views are like 8 fights on a card, man.
Yeah, but to be fair, I mean, the American pay-per-view cards are way more stacked than the UK ones. I'll give you that. I mean, apart from the main event,
Sometimes American pay-per-view does like 3 or 4 fights the most. You guys have like 8.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is you'll have bigger names and more competitive fights on the undercard, whereas in the UK, they're really just maybe some big names on, but they're just mismatches under the.
Like the only notable undercard fight that you guys had was the Eggington Pauly fight for the Hay Bellew fight.
Yeah, that wasn't a great fight.
No, well, Dylan was on an undercard before too, but Nathan, I want to thank you.
That was against Molina though, so that was a mismatch. They had to put a good co-main event for that one, but usually, I don't think the undercards are that stacked in the UK.
So it's usually one okay competitive fight and then a bunch of showcase fights and then some lower level club fighters. Is that kind of how it is?
Sounds that way. Let's find out by staying in the UK. Nathan, I want to thank you for calling in. Obviously, first-time caller. We're going to jump out to another caller. Hands of Stone in the UK as well. Please step up to the plate. If you're not talking, mute yourself for no bad feedback. Hands of Stone, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, TVV? Can you hear me, guys?
Loud and clear.
I just want to say I'm so excited for this fight. I'm so pumped up. It's nice to find, nice to see fighters be mean towards each other, talk shit. I mean, because Jacobs and Golovkin, they were cordial and nice, but this is what it's all about for me. Makes it exciting, makes it that much more personal between the two fighters.
I totally
agree. I just want to say to MD that the UK population is actually around 65 million, not 52.
Well, it's an okay comparison because I under-exaggerate. US is like 340, so you're right. I under-exaggerated both of them.
So in regards to the actual location of the fight is in Sheffield, and around Sheffield there are like 4 to 5 major cities within 2 hours driving distance, and they include like Liverpool, Manchester, Birmingham, Nottingham. So the good thing about UK, because there's someone you could drive there even right from the south or the north, and it'd be like 3 to 4 hours either way. So it's easily accessible to attend fights.
But isn't it correct to have curfew and security issues? That's what I heard that was a concern with having a major fight in Sheffield, right?
I don't know about Sheffield. I never heard of it. I don't think there has been a major fight in Sheffield for a long time. So,
well, they definitely said in the press conference that there hasn't, and not in that stadium either. They had to do a lot of negotiating, and they got a lot of help from the Sheffield City Hall or something like that.
Yeah, City Council.
City Council, yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually yet to watch. I'm going to watch a press conference after this ends. So yeah, I'm excited just to watch that as well. And yeah, I think pay-per-view buys wise, I think it's going to be around 300 to 600. I think because we'll get to know how big Kell Brook is now because he's not facing Triple G, which is a much bigger name than Spence. And in regards to, I think a Thurman fight with Brook would have been much bigger and would do a lot more pay-per-views over here. Thurman or Danny Garcia for them over Spence. But if there is one guy, in my opinion, to unify the division, it's got to be Spence.
Well, we shall see. He's going to have to get past Brook. Hands of Stone, I want to thank you for calling
High
in.
price for Spence, a guy who doesn't even have a belt, is going to be the unifier. I mean, like, listen, he could do it, but this guy is getting a lot of hype.
Hey, man. I mean, Golovkin gets a lot of hype.
Yeah, but he got hype after having some belts, right? I mean, like I'm saying, like, just don't be surprised if Errol Spence. That's what the thing I'm saying. Like, Errol Spence has never been hit by a guy who.
Lomachenko got hype without a belt.
He has 2 gold medals. Errol Spence, the Olympian, didn't even get close to medaling. So,
but they
hype's warranted it sometimes, Ness, kind of, right?
Listen, in one fight, they seen the talent in the Olympics and they recognized that he got robbed. So they still gave him the talent. Just like Mayweather didn't get the gold because he got robbed.
For sure not. But Mayweather got deep into the tournament, right?
He did. Deeper. We can say
silver, right?
Earl made it to the second round.
He has a silver medal. He just got robbed at the final match.
Yes.
Comparing to Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, and that's Floyd Mayweather. Come on.
We're comparing him to Floyd Mayweather. Wait, we're comparing him to Floyd because Floyd compared him to himself, not I. Floyd, after he got that black eye by Earl, he started
They
saying
also did the same thing with Adrian Broner, right?
And Jay Leon.
That's what I try to tell you. Let's get out to JD in Texas.
No, I hear that. You don't need to tell me that.
Yo, what's going on, man? The inconsistency with this guy, it amazes me. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't see how you can like one and dislike the other because I hold them. I'm gonna be consistent, and I didn't believe in the hype of GGG, and I'm not gonna believe the hype of Errol Spence. So, with that being said.
Let me ask you a question. Is GGG's chin certified?
I would say, yeah.
Okay, that's all. That's the only question I have for Errol Spence. That's it. So there's no inconsistencies. Continue.
No, I'll say this. He didn't get tested until Saturday night. So, you know, we can leave that there. I mean, because none of them really hadn't been tested until one just.
I just asked you about his chin, though. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that I'm saying about Errol Spence. A lot of guys look good until they get hit, right?
Oh, true. So with that being said, I'll be consistent. Like I said, I'll say that I've seen Brook look impressive in spots. I've seen Brook beat Sean Porter. So I really haven't seen Spence, be tested yet. So getting to the weigh-in though, not the weigh-in, my bad, the press conference. I like it. Shout out to Eddie Hearn, man. Shout out to Eddie Hearn. He let them dudes get up there. Y'all get y'all words out. At the same time, we're gonna keep it professional.
Well, he instigated as well. Let's just, and I love it. He instigated because
that's what you like.
He asked Kell Brook, and then it's just so many questions about people thinking he was gonna duck, about fighting Triple G, how he felt about fighting Triple G, how he felt about losing. Does he feel that he's slow? I mean, they were overusing Triple G's name to sell this press conference for sure.
And as a promoter, I feel like that is what you sell the fight. Sell your if you putting on sell your product, and that's what he was doing. So, shout out to him, man. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that as long as motherfuckers ain't throwing chairs and you know what I'm saying, that's when it's getting a little too much. But they strictly kept it boxing. They was you basically telling each other hey, I'm gonna whoop your ass, and they left it at that.
No, but they were telling each other why they were gonna whoop each other's ass based off each other's resume. You know what I mean? I like the way that they did that. Kell Brook spoke about Earl's resume, and Earl definitely spoke about his by saying, now you're in with someone your own size. Listen, JD, you partially let us hijack you, but that's the way things go on the Boxing Voice. We're going to get to some other callers here. We're going to go to Nelson in Atlanta. Talk to us.
What's up, fellas? Hey, man, boxing is just coming out with fights out of nowhere, man. This is a good fight right here. But I'm not a fan of an aggressive southpaw. I actually give Brook a big chance of winning this fight because name one fighting in history that's a southpaw that's been aggressive as ever is.
Hagler.
He drops their hand and huh?
Hagler.
What was that?
Hagler.
Hagler? Yeah, Hagler was actually a right-handed fighter who used to switch to southpaw, but he wasn't a southpaw. to fight that way.
I mean, he was a southpaw though, right?
Southpaw.
Well, Pacquiao southpaw.
What?
Yeah, but like
Pacquiao
even
southpaw and aggressive.
just
So-
because Hagler chose to have a strong hand in the front didn't mean he wasn't a southpaw, right?
What? I didn't hear that. What happened?
Just because Hagler had a strong hand in the front doesn't mean he's not a southpaw, right?
No. He said that Hagler was a southpaw. Hagler's not a southpaw. Hagler's actually a right-handed fighter that likes to fight southpaw. He's actually
Okay,
right.
so your definition of southpaw is a strong hand is their left hand. All right, that's fine. That's fine. I consider it a stance.
Yeah. So, yeah, the stand, the stands. You know, the southpaw stand. When you have a southpaw fighter, usually the southpaw fighter, when he's very effective, is when he's like Lara. He's got to be like Macho Camacho, you know, like Pernell Whitaker. But when you get an aggressive southpaw, he leaves himself too open. And I've been watching a few fights of Errol. He drops that right hand too much, man. And with a guy with like Brook, who's a quicker guy, man, he's pretty quick for his size. I can see him landing that right hand straight away. You know what I mean? And like you were saying, you know, we don't know how Errol's going to respond to getting hit, especially from a big guy. Because I look at them; these are two big welterweights, man. These guys are small. But I give Brook a small edge because of the Triple G fight. You know, he kind of understood the weight, and that's going to help him out now with Errol. And I don't like southpaw aggressive fighter. If Errol was to come in and use the ring, move around, use his awkwardness, then yeah, he can give Brook problems. But if he comes in there and he's like, stand there, let's fight toe to toe, I really believe Brook can take it, because I don't like fighters that are southpaw that come in like that. You know, they drop their right hand, it's always weak. It's very rare that you get a southpaw like Manning, but it's because Roach developed that right hand. So he's got to be very careful fighting Brook, and if he can just move around a little bit more, use the jab, and he can probably have some success. But I give Brook the slight edge. It's a good fight. And I think it's actually a better fight than a lot of people think it is. I think it's better than well, anyway, I heard the 10-second clap. Y'all fellas, man, y'all keep working, man. I thought I was the only crazy boxing nut job.
Nah, brother, you got a whole family of boxing degenerates.
But I will say one thing, that you are in the minority with that opinion about southpaw. I will be honest. Southpaw is a stance.
All right, well.
You were just saying that Marvin Hagler was in orthodox stance, but would like to switch to southpaw, similar to like Terrence Crawford, who was in southpaw.
Go back and watch his fights. That's all I'm gonna say.
If you let me finish, I was gonna say, if you look at like if in 50 years when we see Terrence Crawford fights, in retrospect, and we see him fight Victor Postal, you know, you're gonna say, oh, was he a southpaw? No, he was an orthodox fighter that liked to be southpaw.
All right.
I mean that. I'm so horrible with my mute button over here. It makes me sound like my mic is bad. That is an argument, though. You know, that Crawford could be argued what he was, because it seems like in his big fights and in his big moments, he has to switch to southpaw. So is he really a southpaw?
Exactly. It's one of those. It's like, I don't know, because he switches so much. Marvin Hagler was like that. It was like,
well, I think Marvin Hagler was more southpaw than Crawford.
I agree, but I'm saying like it's one of those where because he switched so often, and in different fights he would use different stances.
I'm not a fan. Yeah, and I'm not a fan of. I don't know why.
Like Laura is a good example of a southpaw who's always a southpaw. Like Laura, I can't remember a time where he really switched.
Yes, I don't like switching. Like I said, defensively, it's very, you know, irresponsible, I think.
Really quick, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up before we get out of here. Pull up the page. You know what's funny, MD? I'm sorry to put the focus on you, right? But I'm just trying to find the freaking link. Let me see. Did I leave it open? Maybe. Oh, I did. So I will share it now. You know, it's funny that we talked about the big fight. Remember, guys, ladies and gentlemen, all our listeners out there who tune in regularly, you know that we're having another big fight. And here you can see TBV is packing their bags and we're headed out. So the funny part about this, right, MD, I showed it obviously in the last show and someone already signed up. Check it out. Look at the bottom. Oh, shit, it's not there. Maybe I got to refresh. That's why, because this page, all right, I got to refresh. Boom, let's refresh. That should work. That should work.
Maybe they changed their mind.
No. It's there because Jose called me right away. But my page was never, Oh, great. Now my internet acting up, trying to show off. Uh-oh.
That Ethernet, you got that Ethernet plugged in, Ness?
Damn, that sucks, bro. Yo, maybe Jose, Team Jose is working on the page. Because remember, it wasn't live. The point I was trying to show you, someone signed up already. And it's hilarious. Like, they want to be there. They want to be in the corner. And we didn't even make the page live. Somehow they found the page and they signed up already. So the point of what I was trying to tell everybody, obviously I don't have the graph up to show you, but we are having another fight. MD is going to be defending his win streak, really, but going up for the TBV titles that have been passed around through all TBV Appreciation Nights. So hashtag TBV Appreciation Nights to actually, here we go. We're back up. Let me show you. Wait, let me make sure I'm right. Yeah, it does show it. All right, check it out. Yeah. What if it didn't, right? I was going to look stupid again. But boom, look, 1% because someone already signed up. So here, I'll tell you what it's all about. This is going to be a TBV fan experience. We're calling this one the Border Wars. Why? Because the good old doctor, right? I mean, he's from let me turn this off so I could give you a better little, MD's from like, Boxing MD was going on, brother. He's a real American. You know what I'm saying?
He's all about making America great again,
MD. He's a real American, and he's going to be taking on Jose.
Yeah, my nipples don't lactate, so I don't give a fuck about the glass ceiling. Continue.
He's going to be taking on Canadian Jose. So the way that it works is we're going to have another great promotion for our fans. Obviously, there's been a lot of you that we've met throughout the Appreciation Nights and through TBV fan experiences that we've held in the past. So this one is going to be another great promotion for our fans. It's going to be our second live fight. The first one was obviously MD versus the hipster. They had a score to settle. It was real, but this one is better than ever. Why? Because we've seen what MD could do. We've seen just how strong he is. And now we have a motivated boxing MD because he has been challenged from Jose all the way from Canada. And check it out, it's going to be taking place here in Florida, not here, but in Florida, but in the gym of Erickson, the Hammer Lubin. It will be the boxing MD versus Canadian Jose. But on the undercard, we got Matt, who's making a, what do you call it? He's making a comeback. He's making a comeback, but he made the mistake of calling his comeback to the ring a tune-up. And Steven Calderon, who is trained by Elizabeth, a.k.a. Ann Wolf, now check out Steven. This is Steven right here. Next to, that Deontay Wilder's 6'9".
Stevie.
He's not little. If you're looking at him, look, I'm there, and that's Deontay. Look at Steve. I mean, that's pretty tall. I think maybe the hipster bit off more than he can chew. This will be the title, but these are the true belts. These are the belts that you're going to be taking home right here. And there's also a WBC that Jose had too much. He's got the WBO, the Ring TV, the WBC, and he just won that IBF from Bruce. But on the undercard, it's going to be Mexico versus Puerto Rico. Pon la mano arriba. Enrique is going to be taking on. Look at Mario, the shape that Mario's in for. That happened because of all you. All you guys used to call Mario fat and he got deported. That's what Mario looks like right now, ladies and gentlemen. So be prepared for some body shots from the Mexican left hooker. But look at Matt. He talking about he want to make a comeback. Look, he's all in the bars and shit, getting drunk.
All I'm saying is that the little small range of motion machine like this, whatever he's doing with his chest, will not help you in the boxing ring. Mario.
Oh, hey, listen, Mario is a title eliminator, MD. You don't have to call it out because look at it right there. It says title eliminator, casual fan versus Mario Munguia. So all you got to do is beat Jose, and the next fight is with you. I mean, we'll probably do that one in Jamaica though because it's going down that way. Also, this is where it really gets fun for you guys. We've never done this before, so we're gonna do this. It says 3 fights, but we also have a special fight for you. If you ever heard of the band Escape the Fate, we have the lead drummer Robert Ortiz, who's been a caller for this show for about 5 years. He's also going to be on the undercard fighting Eddie from Las Vegas, one of TBV's Las Vegas correspondents from, again, 5 years ago. And also, as a special treat for all our TBV viewers on YouTube who've ever watched Alex Doomsday Lioness fighting in the amateurs, he's taking on Fernando Pimentel, our former LA correspondent, who has issued a challenge at a catch weight of 175 pounds. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Alex weighs 201 and must weigh in on that Saturday, or, June 5th through the 8th. He must weigh in at 175. So he's got to lose weight. We asked the good doctor, and the healthy thing is to lose weight about 2 pounds per week. We only got about 8 weeks. How's he going to do it? We don't know. But here it gets better. Airfare, hotel, all inclusive to be, maybe you want to be Boxing MD's cornerman. Maybe you want to be Matt, aka the hipster Hunter cornerman. Maybe you want to be whatever. The point is, 2 of you guys get to hang out with us all weekend, all inclusive, everything paid. You get to chill. And, look, I just got sponsored by Mitsubishi. I'll have an Outlander for the Lomachenko fight, April 8th. So, you never know what kind of, maybe Ferrari sponsors us in Orlando. I want a convertible this time. I don't know. But you'll be able to hang out. We'll be drawing 2 lucky winners, entries to join us in Florida, obviously for the time of your life, because Erickson Lubin's going to be there. And I'm just name dropping right now. I cannot confirm, but if Robert Ortiz continues with this fight with us, it is said that Paulo Malignaggi may be there. I already told Matt that during the time Malignaggi's there, I'm going to have to handcuff him, but Malignaggi may be there. So we will release facts on that.
Me and Paulie could talk politics. You'll be my boy.
I'm just gonna walk away from that if that happens.
Yeah, triggered.
Here's where it gets good, right? Obviously, 2 lucky winners will be able to join us, and it's only gonna cost you $50. And if there's people in other countries, states, cities that don't want to go, but they just want to make sure this awesome fight card takes place, you can obviously donate, and in real time, you will watch this increase. Now, obviously, we haven't gone live. The first person that did this, I don't even know how the hell, I don't know how he found it, but he's already in, even though we're not done, because actually there's a video here too. Check it out. We want to see the handshake. Want to see the handshake? Calm down. These are exclusive moments from the first ever TBV host versus host sparring session. That's the hipster right there. This is a tease, baby.
Thank God I shaved, man.
You see that guy right there? Hey, yo. Did you guys see that guy?
That's right. That's what they did.
You keyboard warriors.
Fighting spirit. Can't none of y'all say that no more. They stepped in the ring.
And that's Alex Doomsday Lions, in case you didn't know who was.
I wonder if it's gonna go back to Thurman. They just showed Thurman. MD went in there like Triple G. Like, I'm gonna see what he got in terms of power.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, MD, and I got so much respect for y'all. I swear to God, bro.
Matt, you look tall, man. You look tall.
I'm taller than MD.
You get to see a glimpse of Thurman in there. So, just imagine MD, Matt, all of us, we were sparring there. Well, not we. I don't get in the fucking ring. They were sparring in front of the champ right a week before his unification fight. Can you imagine that? People talk about being at fights and being part of history. Imagine that. You made your own history. You can die happy. You can tell your grandchildren that you're going to be sparring, or you were a cornerman in front of Erickson Lubin before his big fight. Why? Because you know that by July.
Yo, can we talk to Lubin beforehand if he's going to allow a little more violence?
No. I'm gonna talk. I'm even going above and beyond. I'm trying to get WBC to sponsor this one. See if the winners can't get a little WBC medal or something. You know what I'm saying? We got to get our fighters ranked around here. This is TBB fucking promotions, ladies and gentlemen. We're not playing no games. No. It's gonna go down, and we're gonna have video, the same high quality video that we've had for our TBV appreciation nights. We're gonna do the same high quality as long as we meet our quota. Let me just show that one more time. As long as we meet our quota, everything is going to be grade A, right? So we need to get there. That's $50 times 100 people. And like I said, we didn't even go live and one person already signed up because what do you get? You get everything. You get airfare, hotel. I mean, and you're going to get to hang out with MD. You know, all you guys that love politics, you get to hang out with MD. For the hardcore dudes that want to talk, I don't know, fucking Chinese boxing.
Ryota Moreta.
Yeah, you can do that with Matt. You know what I mean? And just for the cherry on top, sparring day, the night of the fight, you get to hang out with Erickson fucking Lubin, the Hammer, who's destined to be a champion by July when Jamel Charlo must face him for that WBC. He's the #1 WBC contender. You'll be there just to, you know, sporadically ask some questions about how's he gonna fucking defeat him, right? I don't know.
And then after I beat Jose, I'll do a few rounds with Lubin. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Rounds with Lubin, but
I gotta use my head in the future, so I'm not trying to do that.
I want to thank everybody, obviously, that joined in. Hit that thumbs up button in the future, present or past. We're gonna cut out. This was a spontaneous show. We just wanted to give you our immediate reaction to the Kell Brook and Errol Spence baby drama. Definitely excited us. I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTL. And you can catch our host at
Mixed Combat News on Twitter and my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radio, on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. Peace.
And you can find me at Boxing MD1. And again, I told Jose, right? I'll take VADA testing. Jose doesn't have to do VADA testing. So I ain't inspecting anybody's nipples, whatever it said in the chat. I don't care.
Speaking of VADA testing, man, if you want to see some sparring footage of Matt outside of the big fight, check him out. He was looking sharp. I can see. MD, you didn't even see.
Oh my God. Was he sparring Santiago, Santiago, the Serpent? I don't know his last name. I heard that's his nickname. The Serpent. He comes with that. He comes with those sneaky hooks, right?
I could see why Matt thought he was gonna do well versus you sparring against Santiago because he was blazing fast. He was Amir Khan fast versus Santiago. But look, you can only catch that on Patreon. Head on over there. We're gonna cut out. Thank you. We'll probably be back later on tonight talking Terrence Crawford. So make sure you're around maybe 7 o'clock Eastern, maybe 9:30 Eastern. But we shall be back. Make sure you subscribe wherever up here so you get those notifications. Turn the notification bell on. Peace.